A little box jumps up, gets in your way. You got to click "Got it" or some button that says you accept and move it on out. And then I'm going to mute everyone. Alrighty. Sitting at front edge of your chair, finding your Zhongjung, your central upright, and once you have that, then see if you can allow this concept we've talked about a lot, Chunwan, or softening and releasing excess grip and tension and muscular activity, relaxing that as your means of finding stability.
Can you get me on? It's usually always here.
What's that, Janet?
I'm trying to get a visual for me.
There you are.
Oh, yeah. I see you now. Okay. I'm going to mute everyone again. Okay. Again, that's to counteract our natural habit of tensing to find stability. We want to relax to find stability. Now, doing it in a chair is one thing, but when we stand up, it's very likely that you start to feel more fear and caution, and that doesn't lend itself to relaxing. But that is what we're supposed to do when we're standing up as well, is releasing and relaxing and letting this sort of grounding through the feet happen rather than being tense and sort of up above the ground where we're walking around feeling unstable. So there's like I often use the idea of like a plug in a socket. This idea that the plug is here and the power is on the other side of the socket, and then you go and you plug it in. That's quite literally how it feels when you're grounded, when you're well grounded. But most of the time, we're sort of just on the surface of the ground, and it's relaxation that allows us to actually plug in. And so the chair-based work that we do here helps us find that quality, helps the brain and the mind be able to say to the body, relax, let go. So sitting in the chair, Zhongjung or central upright, practicing Chunwan or releasing and softening and relaxing. And then what you feel, if you can do that, is some change through the tissues and joints. Usually it's like a little bit of a plumping, a little bit of extra space, as well as a lightening. We feel lighter, less heavy. So they call that Qing Ling, light, nimble, agile. So let's take just a few breaths in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth, cultivating those three ideas: central upright, softening and relaxing, and allowing for that Qingling light and nimble quality through the body. In through the nose and out through the mouth. So if you don't have a meditation practice, which I encourage you to have, which is what we're doing now, just sitting, having good posture, considering those concepts of let me relax, not be holding extra tension in the physical body and the nervous system. And then this breathing helps with that, trains the mind to let go of any other distractions, cut through the distractions, clear the debris. and also heighten awareness. So there's probably, you can almost guarantee somewhere in your body you're grabbing, holding, or resisting that you're just not aware of. And over 2 breaths, 5 breaths, 10 breaths, you start to feel a little bit more. You start to increase awareness of the body so that you can then interface with that tension and then say, oh, why am I holding my shoulders up around my ears? Why don't I let those relax? Right? Because we get so accustomed to our status, our state of being. And then we add some movements to, again, further assist us in this process. Slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest and chin up, arch. And then slide the hands forward, hollow the chest, drop the head around the back. We're just going to do this a few more times. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. Don't be in a rush. You don't have to keep up with anybody, but just keep the idea that you're trying to move everything that can move. All 24 vertebrae, the pelvis, the skull, the shoulder blades, the arm bones are going through some changes here. The hands and wrists are going through changes. In terms of when you pull back, the wrists are bent in one direction. And then when you go forward, the wrists bend in the other direction. So the healthy body being that of being a body that can change, can move, can flow, and sort of ooze these different shapes. And then let's settle to the middle. Rotation, left hand forward, right hand and elbow back, turn the shoulders, turn the head, rotate. And then switch. Right hand forward, left hand back, turn. Switch again. Switch again. Not in a rush. One more each way. Then we're back to middle. Arms hang. Weight shifts a little to the right buttock. Softly lean the torso. Lift your left wrist. Left foot is empty. And then switch. Lean. So we're trying to get sideways movement for the body. So if there's nowhere where we've just got unconscious tethering, gripping, holding, squeezing. Tension is a constriction. It closes. Relaxation opens, which is what we want. We want open pathways throughout the body. And then back to middle. And then the very important shoulder blade, chest, upper back matrix of activity. So shoulders go forward, up, back, down. We slide and roll through these movements forward and up, back and down. So again, we do these same basic warm-ups every time. That doesn't diminish their importance because we've done them many times. In fact, what it hopefully is doing for you is getting you just better at applying the tool. Think of it like any tool. You have to use that tool in its function a lot to get better and better at it. So I can get to the point with my shoulder blades, I'm basically giving myself an entire upper back, neck, shoulder massage. I'm stretching and then squishing and moving, and I hear all these little pops and cracks and little movements of barnacles in my back. So I never get tired of doing these exercises because there's depth to the practice. Let's go the other way. Back, squishing, sliding, rolling over top, down, back and up. So it's sort of like an intimate relationship you need to build with these movements, with these different joints and their functional pathways that they take, so that you can start using them. I mean, they're the most valuable wellness tools you have. There's all kinds of external tools people use, you know, rollers and other things to help themselves, but movement is the most valuable. And release. Now, bend those elbows, elbows flare out and way up. And just this lifting quality of opening all this space in the chest, the armpit, the upper back. Notice how my elbows are above my head at this point. Doesn't mean you need to get there today, but I just want you to know that that's something the body can do. Same thing here, elbows touching. And then down, and then out. So the elbows and shoulders don't just stop here. They have the potential, the shoulder blades have the potential to allow for all that movement. And if you can't do that movement, that means that there's layers of sort of lack of function going on in there, which contribute to, you know, it could be pain, it could just be low energy, it could be feeling clumsy when you move, right? So now elbows back, back, then down, forward, and possibly, again, same idea. You notice with mine, I can get my elbows all the way up. That doesn't mean you can today, but it's just saying this, the body is built to make that shape. And then down and back. So as you do these exercises gently but persistently, right? That's why these videos exist, for you to do them every day. Then you slowly ease these spaces open. You slowly return function. And down. Elbows out, left hand above, right hand below. Hug your own torso. Close. And opening. And then close. Other arm above. Opening. Close. Open. Close. Open. And down. Loose. Hang. Scoot a little bit back on your chair. Right knee lift, right heel pulls in, so like a spring loading, and then push, and then load, and down. Switch. Load, push, load, down. Load, push, load, down. Continue. Load, push, load, down. Now, right leg, extend, foot and ankle, point, flex, point, and flex, point, flex. And then right foot, tilt the foot in, out, in, out, in, out. Now circle, in, around, and out. A couple of times. And reverse, out, around, and in, a couple of times. And other leg, extend, point, and flex. And tilt the foot a little in, out, in, out. In. And circle, in, around, and out. And out, around, and in. Down. Scoot forward on your chair. Feet a little wider than your normal hip distance. Lift your toes up. Turn the toes and knees in, closing the quad, hip, groin area. Toes lift, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, and neutral. Bring feet back to hip distance from the hips. Hip hinge, fold, sit vertical, then lean a little bit back, sit vertical from that hip area, fold, vertical, lean back, vertical, fold, and back. One more, fold, and up. Drop those arms, hang loose. And actually, let's do, before we stand up, let's do just a little bit with the head and neck here. Because a lot of times holding here, again, makes us clumsy versus having a looseness to the head and neck. So the basics of the head and neck, chin down, level, up, level, and down, up, and down, up, and down, and level. Now from the level position, turn, middle, turn, middle, turn, middle and turn, middle and turn, turn. Back to middle. Now, a really important one, kind of weird one. Chin forward, chin back, and then chin further back. Middle, forward, middle, back. Middle and forward, middle, back. Now find middle. From the middle, side. Top or up, side. Now, Alex, notice how, yeah, there you go. That's better. So look, look forward, but drop the head sideways. Rather than what you were doing, you were turning that way. So side, and then up, and then other side. Don't turn. So bring your, because your head is turned this way, but your eyes are looking back, and I want your nose pointing straight ahead as you drop the head to the side. And then let's go up, bend over to the other side. Now flow through that movement a couple of times. See if you can get that freedom of head and neck area. All of this contributes to us feeling lighter and more balanced rather than this sort of heavy and clumsy quality. Alex, I don't want your wife to break your neck on you there, but all right. Now drop the head a little bit to the right. Lift the chin so the head goes back a little bit. Keep the head back as you drop the head to the left, and then drop the head forward and then roll. So start with small circles and then just roll. then let those circles get a little larger and a little larger. Larger. 2 more in this direction. On your last one, hang your head in front and leave it there. Then bring your head straight up like you're just sitting. And then tip your head to the left and chin up, head leans back a little. Then drop the head over to the right and drop it a little forward. And then roll it to the left and roll it back. So we establish this other direction of the circle and go from small circle to slightly larger to larger still. Bigger, a few more. Last 2. And on your last one, just hang your head in front. Once it gets around in front, just hang it there. And then bring it straight up. All right. Hang your arms loose. Float your arms up in front and then drop, swing them back, swing them up. Drop, swing them back, swing them up. So again, loosening, letting go of that clench that's often happening in this little joint here of the arm shoulder. Again, we're always holding places that we really ought not to hold. And then just let your arms slowly come to settle. So don't grab them and stop them, just let them settle on their own. And then note that your feet are empty-ish compared to the weight going down through the chair. So you can go lift one foot and then put it down and lift the other foot and then switch, switch, switch. So go fast feet, tapping on the ground. And then stop. And notice that the feet are empty, like I just showed, and we want the shoulders loose. Now slide your feet back a little bit. Fold at the hips. Arms, shoulders, head beyond your ankles. Now the weight pours out of the chair and it's all going down, plugging. Remember I was talking about plugging into the earth with your body weight. And then push through the earth and come all the way tall. Really tall. And even let's add hips a little bit forward. Back kind of arching a little bit. But just stay relaxed and feel how your weight stays grounded down to the ground. So it's not like you have to hold your body in some perpendicular relationship to the ground to be grounded, right? Because we can hips forward, be grounded, and then go hips back and sink down and have a seat, and you're still grounded through the feet, and then you transfer, okay, now I'm grounded through the chair, feet are empty, and then pour the weight into the feet. So now the feet are not empty, they're full, or they're the conduit to being grounded, and the hips forward. Now let's not sit in the chair. Stay grounded through your feet the whole time. Hips back, sink. Don't sit in your chair. Rise all the way back up to standing. Hips forward, arch the back. Let's do that a couple of times. Just to feel this freedom of movement. The hips are folding, the knees are bending, the back is rounding, the arms are dangling. Then we're coming up and everything's straightening back out. And there's really no muscle tension and force required to move this body. The opportunity is just to be liquid, just to be loose and free. moving. Now, stay standing. You should have your chair. I did forget to describe the setup of the chair, so hopefully you remembered that or you saw it. But we have two chairs with the backs of chairs facing in. Those are our stable assistant little crutches there. So now you should have one on your right. Go stand in front of it, fingertips on the chair. So we got our body weight going down through the legs, down through the feet, connecting to the ground. Now, just tip your body, your liquid, relaxed body, tip a little bit forward so that the heels are no longer the main conduit to the ground. The balls of the feet are, and the toes are. And then rock back so that the heels are included in that. And now this is where you want to have hands on the chair. Rock back a little so that the balls of the feet and the toes are not being used to ground you, just the heels. And then go to the middle where it's both heels and toes. And then rock so it's just the toes. So that being grounded is like a more of an energetic, electrical state that can change how it's happening. So I'm using my feet, but now I'm only using my fronts of feet. And then I'm using heels and toes, and then I'm using heels only. And ideally, you see that, oh, if you just stay relaxed while doing that, you have a better chance of retaining your balance than if you start tightening up and trying to hold your body steady. Okay? Now, hands on chair, go into your toes, stay in your toes, and lift those heels up. So get real tall on the toes, and then lower your heels down. Rock back to the heels, and pull the toe ends of the feet up off the ground. And the chair's keeping you safe. Rock forward into your toes and lift. Down. Rock back. So this is doing a couple things. This is strengthening muscles, yes, but it's also tenderizing the density. So right here, my calves are totally contracted, and then they're melting a bit. But then as you rock back and pull the toes up, they really kind of stretch out the tension in your calf muscles. Calf cramps are a big one for a lot of people. So this helps with that. It helps move the juice through, move the tension through. All right, now, hands on your chair, heels of your hands for stability. Walk your feet back a good amount. And then hip hinge right at those hips and fold. Use this one to stretch the shoulders, stretch the buttocks, stretch the back of the legs. This is basically downward facing dog from yoga. A really important stretch of the tissue layer. And then lift the chest. Hips come forward a little bit, and then we go right back in. Round two. Hips back. And chest up. Walk forward. Stand tall. Turn and face forward. And move that chair, or move your body back a little or the chair forward a little bit, but you want to have some space here, okay? Now, use the chair for stability. Turn your right foot out about 5 degrees. Change your weight into your right leg and put your left foot in front, toes pointing up, like this. Now, left hand on your left thigh. Fold at your hips, sit your butt back, right? So I'll turn sideways so you can see. Hip hinge. Your right knee bends a little bit and slide that left hand down the shin, down to the ankle, possibly down to the foot, and then come all the way back up, up to standing tall. And then again, hip hinge. Slide that left hand down. And back up. Now, if you feel pretty balanced on this one leg, got the chair for safety, but you could take this right hand on the leg so that it's sort of like a support shelf as you fold down and rise up. And again, when you come up, make sure you come all the way tall so that you can then fold. Back up. Now, we just kind of emptied out, stretched, created good flow through this, your left leg. Now, put that foot down, shift your weight into it, and here we fold at that same hip crease. And what you want to create is this shape here you can see in my body. So this leg is like a tree trunk. I folded, and this leg is lifting in line with the torso. And then let's come back up to standing vertical. And again, fold at the left hip crease, your middle pivot intact. And you can dangle your left arm down like you're reaching out to pick up something off the floor. And then come all the way back to vertical. And again, fold. Rise. And fold. Rise up. Now we're going to do that same little two-part series on the other side. So switch over to your other chair. Turn your left foot about 5 degrees out. Shift into it. Put your right foot in front, heel touching, toes pulled up. Right hand on right thigh. Hip hinge. Bow. Slide that right hand down your right shin, maybe even to the foot. And then back up as you come all the way to standing. Nice and tall. Get all the way tall. And then fold. All the way tall. Now, if balance permits, you could take that hand off the chair, rested on this bent knee, like a little shelf of support as you fold and then rise. 2 more. One. And now we really opened up the flow through that right leg. Bring that foot back. Shift your weight into your right leg now and do this little teeter-totter. Teeter-totter, fold, reach down, touch the floor if it's available. But the touching of the floor doesn't matter as much as this function of the belly, back, hip, sort of middle pivot that we're teetering. And then rising. And again, this movement, pretty cool movement, can be executed without any major muscular exertion. It's more about arranging everything together and being relaxed and easy through the movement. And let's stand tall. All right, go back to the first side. And again, have the chair a little in front, a little to the right. Now this first exercise, no hands. You got 2 feet on the ground. Both of them are being used as the conduit to the ground. Now change your weight over to the right leg. So that's really only the right leg that's doing the support work. The left foot's a little emptier. And then change. Once again, this is something you can execute, do, without major force. It actually is better done with this casual quality. And as you change your weight over to your right leg, let that knee have a little bend, a little give in it, so that this foot has the potential to even be so empty that you feel like it could move. Right? And then change. You let the left leg do all that support work, so much so that your right foot is free. All right. Now, the next time you're down to your right leg, your left foot being empty, can you do this? Can you lift it to the tippy toe, put it back down, and then shift into it? And then this one is now empty, so you go tippy toe, down, shift. Tippy toe, down, shift. And again, your middle, the belly button. That's this main important place that everything lines up, sort of the central confluent spot. Now, hand on chair for safety. As you go to your right tippy toes, now you can disconnect the foot from the floor, reconnect the whole foot to the floor, change the weight into the right leg, go tippy toe, hand on chair for safety, disconnect, reconnect, change, tippy toe. Now, some of you might feel you want to try to pick the foot up with no hand on the chair, but just know that it's there for safety. Keep yourself safe, of course. Change the weight, tippy toe, and then here you have that choice, chair or no chair, lift, lower, change. Every time we add a challenge, the tendency, the habit is going to be for you to add tension. To go, oh, I gotta really do something now. And so just notice that that's always this habitual response to something new, the unknown, or something challenging, is to tighten up. But the reality is that it doesn't really help us. It actually impedes us. Now, hand on chair for this one so that we can go all the way up. Right? I'll turn a little sideways so you can see. Notice I'm not holding a bunch of tension in my leg. My foot's relaxed. The knee is relaxed. The hip is relaxed. And it just kind of folds up naturally. And then if it's relaxed and I just let it go down, it falls right near the floor. And then change the weight onto this springy leg. Go tippy toe, lift. Foot is relaxed. Knee is relaxed. Hip relaxed. And then down. And then we just change. And then tippy toe, lift, lower, change. Weight going down through this conduit allows this to be Ching Ling, light, nimble, agile. Chun Wan down through this leg. Now this is Ching Ling, light, nimble, agile. And next exercise. Make sure, once again, that you're a little bit back from your chair. Put all the weight in your left leg. Put your right foot in front, heel touching. First exercise, good to do, no hands if you can. Shift. 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 Though we are moving forward and backward, the primary direction is still down, 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 down. Now, as you go down through your back leg, again, hand on chair as needed, lift, straight leg in front from the hip, lower the heel to touch in front, shift. Now, as the weight goes down through your right leg, left foot should be empty. Bend the knee, toe down, shift. As the weight goes down through your left, the right leg has levity. Then as you let the gravity go down through the right, the left leg can then have levity. Allowing it to go through requires softness, relaxation. Any tension holds it, impedes it. Let's go level 3 here. Hand on chair, lift, down, shift. Now this back leg goes forward and up into that bent position, that folded position. Reach back, find the floor, shift back. Weight goes down through the leg to lift the knee. Down. Remember, gravity, levity. So gravity first. And if we get that right, then this one has levity. It can move safely. And then we change. Now this gravity down, levity up. Gravity down, levity up. And switch sides. Side step. Closer to this chair. Put the weight in your right leg, left foot out in front. Level 1, the best time to try no hands, where you just go, just casual shift, casual shift. Primary direction is down so that we don't get over our skis forward or backward. Rolling and roll. One more. And as the weight goes down through your right leg, your left leg can lift. Use chair as needed. Down. Shift. As the weight goes 100% down your left, your right leg can bend at the knee. Little flamingo. Touch the toe behind you. Shift. As you establish the gravity, that allows for this levity. And then it's got to switch. Get it to where this gravity is in this leg, levity in this leg. The middle pivot is where all of this is happening. So that's why even though there's a change of full, empty, empty, full, there can be a feeling of constancy. And that feeling of constancy and stillness is the middle pivot. Pivot being the operable word because that's the operation of a pivot. It changes, it moves, it turns, it spins, it allows for function. Now, up, down, change. As the weight goes down, we've got this leg has levity, keeps its levity, and then we change. So then this has that sturdiness, this has that mobility, down, change, sturdy, mobile, keeps its mobility, and then change. And the more relaxed you are, the more immediate you can change. Boom, it's there. So now this movement's free. And then, boom. And the only reason you can't do it the way I just did it is because of that tension that's still there. And so we're polishing that out by going slow enough to say, okay, relax, relax, relax. Let the knee be bent. Okay, lift. So we're going slow in the effort or in the service of eventually going swift, right? Now change sides. Level 1. So the weight goes into that outer leg. Put the right foot in front. Now it's shift. Once this foot's truly empty, step it while it's still empty. Shift. And then shift back. Once this left foot is truly empty, step it while still empty. Shift back. And again, shift. Wait for it. Step it while still empty. And then shift. So what we're looking for when we want to have more stability, where it comes from is this totally loose, relaxed body organized around the middle. So feeling this idea of, okay, if I go 100, 0, step while it's still 0, and then I change, I've just helped cultivate my middle pivot. I can't find my pivot and grab it. I have to relax and then use it. I got to make it function. So then I become more aware. Right? Let's go level 2, hand on chair. As needed, we go lift, lower, shift, step up and over, shift, flamingo, down, shift. Now this one is the tricky one. Up, tuck, reach. That really helps you find your middle if you can keep your weight here in this right leg when you do that. And then shift. And then lift, lower, shift. Step over the obstacle. This helps us as well, but it's a little easier than going backwards. Now we're going shift. Now here, up, tuck, and reach. That middle pivot quality there. Really key in on that idea. Lift, lower, shift, over, shift, up, down, shift. Now, up, tuck, reach. That helps you find that middle really well. And then shift back. Level 3, lift, lower, shift, and now we just exaggerate. Bend the knee, knee to chest, foot out, foot down, still no weight, so don't fall into that leg when it goes down, right? Down, then shift. Now this is knee forward and up. Now again, then we get 2 for 1 now. Step back, that helped find our middle. Shift, hand on chair as needed as we go up, tuck, and again right here, really helps find the middle when you can reach back and not let your weight go with it, then shift. Up, down, shift, heel, knee, foot. Now don't fall into that leg as the foot goes down. Then shift. Up, now, back, shift. Now right here. Up, tuck, reach, shift. One more of those. Up, down, chain. So the levity or the ching-ling allows for that movement. And then we chain. So now this has ching-ling and this has ching-ling. And then that changes. And then it changes. And down. Switch. Over to this chair. Put all the weight in your right leg. Left foot in front. No weight. Level 1. Shift. Step while empty. Shift. And then shift back. Step while empty. Shift back. And again. Shift. Step. Shift. And reverse. Shift. Step. Shift. Again. Level 2. So now we've really got to have gravity, levity, lift and lower. Use the chair where needed. Shift. Now this is up and over a small obstacle. Down. Shift. Now the little flamingo. Down. Shift. Now up, tuck, reach. Shift. Weight going down through the right. Got that little lift. Lower. Shift. Step over the obstacle. And shift. Flamingo. Down. Shift. Cultivate the middle. One more. Gravity, levity. The levity allows the movement. And then it's got to switch. This one has the gravity. This has the levity. And then it's got to switch so that this one's free. And then it's got to switch. Level 3, hand on chair so you can go all the way up, all the way down. Shift. Now we exaggerate. Heel, knee, foot, down, shift, and then we go knee forward and up, reach the foot back, shift back, up, tuck, reach, shift. Weight going down allows for this lift and the lower. Then we change. The weight going down here allows for this whole exaggerated movement. I still haven't changed the weight. The foot is down. Then change. And then this comes up, back, shift. And then it's up, tuck, reach, shift. One more. Cultivating the middle pivot plus relaxation. Allows for all kinds of function with the body. Come to the left side of your space. Face down range. Put the weight in your right leg. Empty your left foot. Put it in front. And then shift. Step while still empty. Shift. Step while still empty. Shift. Step while empty. Shift. Shift. Be extra careful going backwards. Shift. Make sure you're clear. Which one is gravity or stable? Which one is levity or movable? Mobile. Step that mobile foot and then shift. Stable and mobile. Move the mobile foot. Then change so that what was mobile is now stable. What was stable is now mobile. And then change. And how do we change? We change through the middle pivot. So every time you do this correctly, rather than, let's say, just kind of clumsily going across the room, which is cultivating not the middle pivot, it's cultivating clumsiness. But every time you say, okay, full empty, and then you change, and you actually feel what we're talking about, and then you change again. It has to be cultivating your middle because it can only be executed through that middle pivot like a seesaw. So if you just focus on doing it right, getting these feelings that we're talking about, you're going to have an overall sense of being centered, being stable, having that stillness, but also having that function. So that's where, again, with Tai Chi, slowing down is not so that we train so that we move like slugs for the rest of our lives. You're not condemning yourself to slow movement. In fact, quite the opposite. You're slowing down enough to find the sort of main key pivot that underlies all of this. Now, option to try level 2, walking across the room. Step up and over, down, shift. Step up and over, down, shift. Up and over, down, shift. Up and over, down, shift. Middle pivot. Just have the keying of the attention on this idea that you have one, that there is a middle. In Tai Chi, they say, keep the mind in the middle dantian, or the middle pivot, essentially. So the mind is not up in your head or in your emotional center, but rather down in this belly, low back, pelvis region, operating the body. All right. And once more, come to the middle of your space here. Chairs a little bit in front of you. Now, Today we're only really doing forward and backward movement, and we're going to work on this. I use the term ballistic. Ballistic. We know this idea like a ballistic missile or something that has some momentum, some force, right? So everything we've done so far has been, okay, no force applied, right? We're just easing and oozing. And this is so important because it allows you to get around your room, around your space, get to the bathroom, get to the supermarket for the most part, just relaxed, right? And easy. Now, we also want to feel how there's some gunpowder in the body here. So put your weight in your left leg, have that little bit of a bend, right foot empty out in front. Now just watch me do what I'm going to do a couple of times. So my weight is here. This is spring loaded. The other thing that's important, I'm not locked in this back leg. I can't really generate force from this leg if it doesn't have a little springy bend. So now, push, right? So I just advanced with a little bit of oomph. So I'm just going to do that again. So I've loaded up back here. I've sort of stored up, and then I'm going advance. And notice how this foot follows. So my weight is now in this front leg, and this one is empty. Let's try that one more time. And so you got your chairs nearby for safety. Okay, so load up. This one is empty, and we go advance. Now, from here, this leg has loaded retreat. This leg loaded, this one empty, advance. And then retreat. Now, primary direction is still down. That's also really important because now that we're adding momentum and ballistic movement, it'd be easy to get over your skis. So keep in mind that even though you're advancing, you're still just going down and retreating, but it's still down. Advance, retreat. Advance, and retreat. Advance, retreat. Advance, retreat. Switch the arrangement of your legs. So put the right leg behind, left foot in front, or whatever the opposite is for you. I'll put you on my side here. So this one empty. Instead of just pouring my weight into that leg, now I'm going spring. And then instead of just rocking back into this leg, which is just fine also, I'm going spring. So now this trains a little of that energy, that power that we're talking about. Advance, retreat. Advance and bring that back foot up, keeping it empty so that you could retreat. Advance, retreat. And keep the idea that maybe it's just metaphorically speaking, but your teacup could stay on top of your head. Have that feeling like you're not lurching forward and backward, but rather you're floating. Floating. Advance, retreat. Advance, retreat, and switch. Change, advance, retreat, change, advance, retreat, change. Forward, backward, change. Change. So again, it's this slight bend in the legs that allows for all this to happen. because when we're using our legs like stilts, they don't function in this springy way. So this is a great way to feel that and start to find like, oh, if I allow just that little give, all of a sudden I can change weight and I could advance over here if I needed to. I could retreat back. I could even just kind of casually walk and move. And then as I needed to, retreat if I had to. So this state of Tai Chi that we're slowing down and softening ourselves into is not so that we're just going to be slow and weak all the time. It's the opposite. It's that we're getting rid of all this sort of clumsy energy in the body and we're freeing up function so that there can be suddenness and agility and mobility with this still point pivot organized, right? So great job, everybody. If there are any questions, please unmute and or comments or anything like that. Thanks a lot.